Hi, I'm Aditya and I'm the founder and CEO of Doosra. We have been getting a lot of questions about what is Doosra and how exactly it works. Today we will show you the basics of Doosra in a simple tutorial. After watching this video, you will know everything that is needed to be a Doosra super user. So what is Doosra? Doosra is a virtual mobile number that protects your privacy. That means you don't need another SIM card or a second device. And only those people that you give permission to will be able to reach out to you. Simply sign up on doosra.com and get your Doosra number instantly. Cool, isn't it? So Doosra was created to solve a simple problem. We all hate to give our personal mobile number at public places. And I always thought, why can't there be a better way? A few years ago, I walked into a sporting goods store. I picked up the products that I needed to buy and walked up to the billing clerk. During billing, the clerk mandated that I give my personal mobile number. I was annoyed and walked away empty-handed that day. But that gave me the idea of why not all of us have a publicly shareable mobile number that we can give everywhere, to brands, to businesses, so that our personal mobile number is not exposed. So now I'll do a quick walkthrough of the Doosra app. So I'll click on the Doosra icon. So this is my home screen. So you'll see my Doosra number up top, 77997 41289. You have the ability to copy your Doosra number or share it. As you come down, you'll notice that there are two call settings. One of them is the block unknown calls. So Doosra blocks all calls by default. So this is always set to true. Another feature that we're very excited about is voicemail, which I'll also talk about in the video, and how somebody can leave you a voice message. If you come down, you'll see the call logs. So all of my call logs here, all of my voicemails here. I can look at messages, all of the messages that came through. We also have a great referral program. So if you wanted to bring somebody else onto the Doosra platform and get themselves a Doosra number, you can simply share your referral code with them. We also have the concept of trusted contacts, which I'll talk about, and trusted services as well. And we also have comprehensive settings, so notifications that you can manage very granularly, FAQs and other help section that you can reach out to us. So this will give you the entire support that is needed for a full-fledged Doosra experience. So now I'll show you what happens when somebody calls your Doosra number. To demonstrate this, I have this other phone with me, using which I'm going to call. So it's a regular phone, using which I'm going to call my Doosra number and show you what happens when somebody calls you. So I go to the dialer, click on dial my Doosra number, 77997 41289, and click on dial. Put it in speaker, and we'll hear what we'll hear when they call your Doosra number.
Now, please press 1 to leave a voice message.
So you'll notice that the person was not able to reach me, and basically it gave a message that said that the person you're calling is not available. If you want, you can leave a voicemail. Now, as soon as I hung up, I basically got a notification that said a blocked call that I got to my Doosra number. Now I can see the call in the call log. So you'll notice over here, I go to all calls, and you'll notice that the number that just called me appears over here. So what happens in this case is, even though when somebody tried to reach you and they heard a message, you will know who called you, but it will not bother you. It just shows up as a simple notification that says that you have a blocked call from a specific number. One of the features that we're very excited about at Doosra is voicemail. This means that the person that calls you, when the call gets blocked, they have the ability to leave you a voice message. So let's see how that works. So in the home screen, as I had showed you earlier, there are two settings in the calls. One is the ability to block all unknown calls, which is our standard call blocker, and the other is voicemail. The voicemail setting is set to turned on. Now let's see what happens when somebody calls my Doosra number with the voicemail setting turned on. So I'm going to go to this other phone, click on call.
Person you are calling is not available to take calls right now. Please press 1 to leave a voice message.
I'm going to click on 1.
Please record your message after the beep. Once you have finished recording, please press pound or the hash sign.
Hi, this is a test voicemail for the demo that we're doing for the Doosra app. I'm going to hit and pound. So it says that the message has been sent. So I should very quickly see the voicemail come into my Doosra app. So it says you have a new voicemail from this specific number. So I'll click on it and go to the voicemail tab. So let me just quickly refresh it. So you'll see that there's a 7-second voicemail. So I click on that one and I can play it. Hi, this is a test voicemail for the demo that we're doing for the Doosra app. Now, this is what happened when somebody calls you with your voicemail setting turned on. So now that somebody has called me on my Doosra number, I'll show you how you can call them back using our secure callback functionality. So I'll go to the app and you'll notice that I have a blocked call or a missed call from this specific number. So I'm going to click on that. And you have a few options. Either you can add this number as a trusted contact, you can call them back, or you can delete the logs. So I'm going to click on call back. And you have two options once you click on call back. One is a direct call and the other is call via Doosra, which is what we recommend to ensure that the privacy of your personal number is not exposed. So I click on call via Doosra, and essentially what it does is it creates an intermediate number that you end up calling, and the person that is receiving the call will also see that same number. So neither your personal number nor your Doosra number is ever exposed to the other party. So I click on call secure number. It ends in 4567. So I click on this, click on dial, and it says it's going via Doosra. So my other phone that I have, which is like basically a phone that does not have Doosra, should now ring. So you'll notice that I got a call from the same number that I actually dialed into. So that 4567 number is the intermediate number. So I can click, I can decide to answer or reject the call. If I answer, there's going to be some echo. So I'm not going to pick it up. So I basically said that the call got unanswered. So what happened is basically you ended up calling from your through your Doosra app using our secure callback to this other phone that called you without revealing your personal or your Doosra number. So Doosra blocks all calls by default, which means that whenever somebody tries to reach you, they basically get a standard, the customer you're calling is not available. But there are certain cases when you want calls to come through. It may be a situation where you're waiting for a delivery and you know the delivery person is going to call you to your Doosra number, and you actually want to speak to that individual. So you have the ability to turn off the call blocker for a certain period of time or by location. So let's see how disabling the call blocker by time works. So I'll go to the Doosra app, go to the home screen. In this case, it says block unknown calls is set to true. So I'm going to turn that off and see what happens. So I click on turn it off. It says want calls to come through. So it can be turned off in two different ways. One is by time and the other by location. So in this case, I'm going to try to call my Doosra number after disabling the call blocker. So I click on disable call blocker. So it disables it for 60 minutes or 1 hour, which should be plenty of time for you to get calls from whoever you're expecting calls to come through. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to click on dial, put it on speaker. So the call should get forwarded to my regular number in this case. So it says incoming call via Doosra, and it gives you, clearly shows you a notification that you're supposed to pick up this call. In this case, what ended up happening is, since the call blocker was turned off for an hour, anybody that calls your Doosra number, the call gets forwarded to your personal number and it rings on your phone like any other regular number would. Obviously, when it says via Doosra, you know that it is a call that is coming because somebody dialed your Doosra number. So this is how turning off the call blocker by time works. Another interesting way to turn off the call blocker is actually by location. So let's assume that you're at a networking event and you end up giving your Doosra number to multiple people. So in that case, what happens is people will say, hey, I just called your number, you should get a missed call, can you check? And at that point of time, you don't want to be caught in an awkward position where they end up hearing the blocked message. So you can actually turn off the call blocker for as long as you are at that venue. So let's see how that works. And this time I'm going to turn it back off by location. So let's see how that works. Click on disable call blocker. Instead of time, in this case, I'm going to use location and disable call blocker. So what happens in this case is that the app actually takes your current location. So it asks you specifically for the permission and you just say allow once. takes permission of your current location and draws a 250-meter radius. And as long as you're within that radius, the call blocker will be turned off, which means that when somebody tries to call me on my Doosra number, the call will get forwarded to my regular number as if the call blocker was turned off. The moment I drive out of a location, which is go beyond the 250-meter radius, the call blocker automatically comes back on. This we feel is super functionality that gives you the ability to be smart in when you're giving your Doosra number at all of these public events. So Doosra blocks all calls by default, but there may be certain numbers from whom you want to always allow calls to come through. Let's take the example of you going to a pharmacy. So you are looking for some medicines and the pharmacist says those medicines are out of stock, and they want your mobile number so that they can call and tell you when the medicines are back available. So in such cases, you don't want to give your primary number. But if you give your Doosra number, you're worried that the call from the pharmacist may be blocked. So we have a solution for that. So how do you do it? You add them as a trusted contact. So I go to the Doosra app. So you'll notice that my call blocker is turned on. So in this case, what I'm going to do is for demonstration. So I'm going to add this phone number as a trusted contact in my Doosra app. So I go to contacts and click on plus on trusted contact and add this number 1845. So I click on save. Now this number has been added as a trusted contact, but the call blocker is on. So let's confirm that. So it just says block unknown calls is set to true. So I'm going to try to call from this phone again to my Doosra number and see whether the call is blocked or it's let through. Click on call, put it on speaker. So generally the call should have been blocked, but in this case the call is coming through because it is added as a trusted contact. So you'll notice that it also gives me the name, very handy. It says pharmacy, an incoming call from them, and your phone dialer shows via Doosra. But yeah, so this is how it works, guys. One of the cool things that we have done in the Doosra service is the concept of trusted services. Trusted services are those services from whom you want to always receive calls. To enable this, we have tied up with leading companies in the delivery space, in the ride-hailing space like Zomato, Ola, Swiggy, Dunzo and others. So what happens is, let's say you order something on Swiggy and the profile on your Swiggy app, you update it with your Doosra number. So when the delivery guy comes to your place, he will want to give you a call. At that point of time, you don't want to miss the call from them. So we've tied up with all of these companies so that any call that comes from their delivery personnel bypasses the call blocker and gets forwarded to your regular number. It's a simple toggle within the Doosra app, and I'll show you how that works. So I'll go to the home screen. In this case, in the bottom bar, I'll go to contacts and then trusted services. So we've tied up with a bunch of these guys, and we will continue to expand this list over the next few months. So basically what ends up happening is you can either turn on or turn off calls from these services with a simple toggle. In this case, if I want to turn off calls from Swiggy, I basically say, incoming calls, I disable them and I can turn them back on. So this way, what ends up happening is you don't miss calls from those services that you trust while giving you complete control on who can reach you and who cannot. So Doosra is a unique, first of its kind service in India, and we're super excited about it. I hope that the video has given you enough insights on how to use each of the features in the Doosra app. And I'm sure that every time you now are asked for a personal mobile number at a public place, you will give a Doosra number and feel very good about it. Good luck, guys.